So welcome back to the next tutorial of HourLot rostering and time and attendance. My name is James Real, and I'll be showing you how to schedule shift using HourLot rostering application. So the last tutorial we have a demo account, so I'm just gonna sign in. Once we've signed in, then we can drill down to the department that we want to manage roster for. But with this, we are logging into the admin department, so we're just going to log out here, and we'll re-log in as the department, because we are not logging in as an administrator to schedule rota for each of the care services. We are logging in as the to the service dashboard. So what I mean by that is that you have a company, and your company have, let's say, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 care homes. So what we are going to log in, we're going to log into each individual care services that you provide. So if you provide a domiciliary care or a respite care, we're going to be logging into that, and that account has already been created. So what we have is we have Warren Garden as the name of the department, and we're going to enter the password. So now, once we have that, we will log into it, and we are in the department dashboard. We can go back in the future, and we can go to 2019. Now we are in 2019, and this is the dashboard. The overview, what we're going to look at here, we're going to see the department staff overview. So if the department, if the staff is going over their hours, then we will know how many overtime hours the staff has immediately, and we can check that here. We can check the staff cancellation list. So if they request any staff cancellation, then the manager or the care coordinator or the deputy manager could approve and reject this request, and we can see who is working on shift today. So for morning or for night shift, which they call waking night or they call sleeping, it will show. If there's nothing found, then it will display this red circle, no data found. So we're just gonna check the customer team list. So we have list of customer, which is, we just only have one customer, and we have 3 staff for now. And we're going to check shift updates, and we have the shift updates here as well. So we have staff availability, which we're going to have. So the staff availability will say whether they are available for a particular shift or not. And we have a live clock department. So how the staff is clocking in or clocking out, we'll be able to see it live here, where they clock in and clock out. And another thing again to say, the HourLot rostering can be used independently of the time and attendance. The reason why I said this is some organization might already have ways to manage time and attendance, and they've been able to use that for their payroll, and it's very difficult for you to change provider. But if you don't have time and attendance already, time and attendance is built in as a sub application to the rostering application of HourLot, which means you can either decide to use the clock and attendance part of HourLot, or you can decide not to use it. But if you decide to use the clock and the time and attendance part of HourLot, then you have to use the roster application as well. But if you only use the roster application, you don't need to use the time and attendance application. Now we have the reporting queries. So we've got pre-built reporting here that you can drill down and you can view the report. So you can view reports which will be in PDF form, and you can download this report for you to print it out as well, so you can understand how your department rota is doing. So we can close this. Now the next thing we're going to look at, we look at this shift notification. So specifically, this shift notification is very important because your staff will be interacting with the application via their mobile app. So every staff that you employ is going to have this mobile app on their phone. They can download it on Play Store and they can always make a request. So if a staff submits an availability, they can do that from their mobile phone, and you as the manager will see their availability here. And if they check their shift schedule, so whatever you've scheduled on the rota, they will be able to view their shift schedule, and they will be able to view their estimated hours, what they've done for the month or what they've been rota for, and they can cover shift and do all the messaging as well. So we will go back to it, and if we say shift notification, so for example here we have shift cancellation list for the month of August. If it's January, for example, to show nothing, so we're just going to go down to August where we have a data. So we have this information. So the manager or the person that manages the rota will log into the application and then can approve and reject this. So it's very important that we know how this section works. So shift cancellation list. So shift covering list will show information about a particular staff wanting to cover another person's shift. So if a staff cancels shift here and that shift is approved, that shift goes here for staff to cover that shift. So when a staff member goes to their mobile app, which is to cover shift here, then they will be able to express their intention to cover that shift. In the next in other tutorial, we're going to show you how the mobile app works. So once we've been able to cover the shift here, then the staff can do that particular shift. Again, we have shift swapping list. So a particular staff, two staff might want to swap. So maybe a particular staff cannot work due to maybe appointment or due to childcare issues, and they want to swap their shift from morning shift to an afternoon shift or to a night shift. So they can swap, and the request will always come to the manager to approve or to reject. Also for shift update time request list. So if a staff is scheduled to work probably let's say start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but they can't start at 2 o'clock, and they request that can my time be updated so that I can start at 3 o'clock. The reason why this is done is because if you are using the clocking part, and if your staff is using the mobile app to clock in and clock out, then if they don't clock in at a particular time, then they will not be able to clock in, because it will be saying they it's too late for them to clock in and it's too early for them to clock out and something like that. So you will have to update the time request so that if staff need to clock in, then or how they can do that here. Once the request is approved here, then they will be able to do that. In the next subsequent tutorial, we will drill down on how we approve and reject approve requests from this. Next is the clock update request time. So if a staff did an overtime and they want to request from their manager that, oh, I did an overtime, then they can always request that. And we have the timesheet here. So for it, we can select an employee and we will see what they've done, and the staff can the manager can approve their timesheet and can reject their timesheet as well. So we know their total hours and everything that they've done. So let's go now to scheduling shift. I think what we're going to do, we're going to pause this tutorial and then we'll start another tutorial, because I don't want to go over this tutorial for a long period of time. We have 10 minutes already. So in the next tutorial, we're going to start to schedule shift using HourLot, rostering, and time and attendance. So I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching and bye for now.